The Comedy Grinder. Streaming live worldwide from the First Church of Cannabis. Tonight,
Dylan Lusk, Daniel Matthew, Billy Gorm, Jerry Goebel.
tonight's episode.
Tonight, it's the secret of life. It's free real estate.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the First Church of Cannabis and the Comedy Grinder. We are gonna get things rolling right along here, as we like to do at the First Church of Cannabis, and bring to you the stage our first comedian of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Brent Lee Smith.
Hey! What's up, rutabagas? Yeah, you heard me. See my nice hat? My sweet-ass glasses? Gotta wear this shit. I got bad peepers. Yeah. I said peepers. It's a funny word. I'm a stand-up comedian. That's what we do. Say funny shit. So it fits. I'm going to say some more funny shit. So I got my bad peepers because somebody came at me doing this and I forgot to do this. Ain't that some shit? Let me get closer to you. I'll do that again. I didn't have my glasses yet because I didn't have bad peepers. Somebody came at me doing this. I forgot to do this. What the fuck, man? Some basic stuff. Caught me slipping. So y'all be careful out there. You see anybody going this at your eyes, your peepers, don't forget to do this. And if they got some big ass fingers, double it up. Be careful out there. It's crazy, man. So I got bad peepers, but also got a bunch of other crazy stuff wrong with me. I got a couple tumors in my head. I got some bad lungs. I get these bad headaches. I've been working on a kidney stone the last couple weeks. I mention all this because my birthday just happened. And they say, oh, you're only as old as you feel on the inside. Well, I look younger than I am. But all that shit I just mentioned is on the inside. So I feel like I should be haunting this place for like the last 200 years. So, woo! And for those of you at home, woo! I get to do that like once a year, so woo! To you. That one's for me anyway. But yeah, so I got this sweet get up. By the way, you're welcome. But I choose the fedora for a reason. And it's not because I'm a hipster. Not because of that either. Because I'm not a goddamn hipster. Y'all can't see on there, but I don't wear skinny jeans. I don't like shit tight on my nuts. Not pants anyway. So I'm a fly-ass motherfucking pimp from the hood. So don't get it twisted. So I like hipsters. They're fake. They think they think being poor is cool. Being poor ain't cool. Growing up, we were so poor, we invited people over for heat. Be like, hey man, you want to come over? Yeah, like, what are we going to do? Nothing, we're just going to get warm. You know, sometimes you'd go play with people you didn't like because they had cool toys. I had to play with people I didn't like for food. My mom would ask me, hey, why don't you go play with Jason? I said, I don't like that dude. Are you hungry? Well, fuck it, I guess I'm playing with Jason today. But they had the name brand SpaghettiOs. All right, right on. Still hated Jason, though. Sometimes you try to eat my SpaghettiOs. So you're supposed to share, man. That's why I'm here. It's crazy, man. But hipsters, they try to act like they're poor and shit. But if you can buy houses in gentrified neighborhoods, you can afford craft beer and Starbucks, and you can afford oil for your facial hair, you're not fucking poor. Now go buy you some shoes and cover your nasty feet and walk away from me. I'm tired of you. But keep up the recycling and like the urban farming and shit, that part's cool. Fucking hipsters. Like all of them got like this facial hair and shit. That's fake too. Like they're just trying to hide from who they are. And put the oil on there, get extra greasy to get like extra disguise or some shit. Like fucking hipsters. Yeah, I'm from the hood. It's like a friend of mine. She's a kind of sheltered. And she's like, why did everybody in the hood walk in the street? Well, there are a few reasons for that. One, usually the sidewalk's pretty jacked up, so the street's just easier to walk on. Or two, like you never know what might like get you on the sidewalk. Not everybody in the hood takes care of their pets. So like you might get attacked by like a pit bull or a parakeet or a gator. I've seen all that happen. Or you might get snatched up by somebody in between cars, you don't know. So you walk in the streets so you can get a better view of the lay of the land. There's a question on OkCupid, a dating site, and it asks, how easy is it for you to obtain illegal drugs in your social circle? In my social circle, I have to leave my family's circle, allegedly. Like, if I needed to make somebody disappear, I can make that happen. I was telling this to another friend who also lived a bit of a sheltered life. So he's like, oh, that's not scary. Should I be afraid of pissing you off? I'm like, it's not that deep, bro. But don't piss me off. It's like, I can't help who I grew up with. That's just my neighbors. It's like if you happen to live next door to a cannibal, you can't do anything about that. But you might have some explaining to do if you helped him make the stew. I'm just saying, you know. Talking about online dating, I got this icebreaker that I do. I ask girls to tell me something they've never told anybody before. It doesn't have to be anything dirty, but you know, you kind of hope that it's something dirty. And a little while ago, I asked this girl, and she's like, hold on a minute, let me think. I said, all right, I'll go first. So I'm like, I'm dressed up in this Power Ranger costume, and I happen upon a midget orgy. And since I just happened upon it, I'm not quite in orgy mode, so I'll just watch for a little while. And then I start to morph into action. And then things get kind of crazy. And then I get kicked out of the orgy. Because apparently stacking 4 midgets on top of each other is frowned upon when they fall down and 2 of them get concussions. I guess there's some protocol or something they got to get into, and they can't go to the next orgy until they're cleared by a doctor or some shit. They got to pass some test and some baseline, and it seems a little excessive to me, but my costume ends up getting all torn up and everything, but I was able to keep the mask on because I wanted to keep, my identity a secret, because who needs that drama? And then she's like, wow, how do you happen upon a midget orgy? And I'm like, well, you just start typing up some made up shit while you wait for the girl you're talking to come up with something real. And then she started laughing. Y'all free to use that story in real life, just don't use it on stage. But speaking of dating, my grandma gave me some advice. She said, never date a girl who's got a belly button ring, because every time you go down on her, she'll just fart in your face. Don't ask me how my grandma knew that or why she told me, because she's dead now and I can't ask follow-up questions. She's also the lady that told us, eat all your potatoes and to make your tallywhacker grow. I ate a whole lot of potatoes and I'm still waiting. I still eat them now too. I like potatoes. I can't be friends with anyone who's not at least a little bit suspicious that their mom's a gynecologist. That's all there is to that one. I can't give anyone dap who doesn't like ice cream. That's all there is to that one there. You can go ahead and laugh all the way, Billy, like you ain't got to stop. There you go. I can't give anyone a back rub who's never had a crush on Suzanne Summers. No? All right. I just made that one up. That's fair. Yeah, so I don't like people who think they can change the name of the days of the week. They're like, oh, today's my Friday. Just because you work an odd schedule doesn't mean you get to rename a day. Today just happens to be Friday, but some people are like, it'll be Tuesday. Oh, today's my Friday. No, that day is Tuesday for everybody. It kills me. It's like, what's next? It'll be May 21st, and you're going to, today's my Halloween. So you can go trick-or-treating in somebody's house and end up shot. Like, what happened? Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I didn't get the memo. By the way, your costume sucks. But here's a Snickers bar. You can eat it on the ambulance. And then we're going to come up, oh, yeah, it's August 21st. It's my Christmas. No. Christmas is in the future, in December, for everybody. Fuck you. We've agreed on this. That's why we have calendars. Jackass. I fucked that one all up. I haven't said it in a while. That's why you guys didn't laugh more. Today's my Friday. Because it's Friday, goddammit. That's why. I got this neighbor. I live in an apartment building. He's a big old dude. He's at least 4 bills, pushing 5. I made the mistake of helping him a couple times. So now he thinks I'm supposed to help him every single time he needs something. And that's not happening anymore. So one time I told him that I'd try to help him out, and I mentioned my health issues before, and I said, yeah, like I help you out, like later today. I made a mistake of giving him my phone number. So he calls me, and he's like, hey, like, are you coming down? I'm like, sorry, man, like I'm not feeling good. I'm not gonna be able to help you today. And he's like, you need me to call an ambulance? I'm like, nah, man, I'm okay. I just need to lie down. I'm just not gonna be able to help you out. I was like, are you sure? You need me to call? I'm like arguing. Now I have to argue with him so he doesn't call an ambulance. I'm like, dude, I'll be okay. I just can't help you. And then another time, like he sees me coming out the elevator, and I'm about to go to the store, run some errands, whatever. And he's like, hey, man, what you about to do? And I'm like, I gotta go do some stuff. Apparently, work on my addiction. And so what are you doing later? And I'm like, other stuff. And he goes, okay, well, you go do that then. Like he's following me as I'm going out the door and walking down the street. And I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it right now. I didn't ask for your permission. Like you're watching me do it. Roger. And then another time, I just came back from a show, and I got my tripod and everything. And he's coming down the hallway. I'm like, oh, please don't come talk to me. And he comes and talks to me and goes, what's that? And I'm checking my mail. And I go, a tripod. And he goes, what's that for? I go, so I can record my comedy set so I can watch it later and get better. And he goes, well, why? I'm like, what do you mean? I just told you. He's just like the weirdest dude. So now anytime he talks to me, I just respond to him in French because I speak French. And then he talks back to me like he speaks French, but in English, and he does not speak French. It's the funniest thing ever. He's like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, hey, salut, comment ça va? And you go, okay, like, where are you going today? Du père. J'ai fait des terrons. Okay. He just goes with it. I don't understand. Like I was in his apartment helping him out one time, and he was on the phone with a doctor or something going over his medicine. I don't know how this dude is alive. He's like on so much morphine and insulin. It's enough to kill like 4 elephants. It's a big dude. All right, I'm going to get out of here on this one. Take a little bit of a poll here. Have any of y'all seriously considered masturbating with a watermelon? Yeah. Except for the purposes of this joke, I have not. Because I think it'd be gross and weird and dangerous for women. So any ladies, talking to you on the internet there, next time you're at your local farmer's market looking for some organic masturbatory material for your needs there, maybe start off smaller, like maybe a cucumber or a carrot, or spice it up with a radish. All right, I'm Brentley Smith. Enjoy the rest of the show here at the First Church of Cannabis. Have a good night.
Keep it going for Brentley Smith. All right, we're going to keep things rolling right along here, and we're going to bring our next comedian to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome for Mr. Billy Orm.
How's everybody doing? I like how Brent is basically like the communist of like calendar days. If someone walked up to him in a supermarket, it's my kid's birthday today. But it's not my kid's birthday today, you fucker. It's like, come on, bro. That's pretty crazy. The other day I was at a bar, and this girl just walks up to this guy and says, birth certificate, and then they jet off. I don't know what's more messed up. The fact that that guy was Mexican and that's potentially racist? Or the fact that I was at a bar at 2 a.m. or the fact that I was at a bar at 2 p.m. on a weekday on my Friday. I like to play a game with my friends. It's called Shotsy. Every time that someone gets a Yahtzee, we take a shot. The only thing that sucks about that is no one ever gets a fucking Yahtzee. Ever. So basically, they rigged the game so that I could be sober. And did I mention that that game is played at my Alcoholics Anonymous program? I like to think that I'm magnanimous on Tinder. Yeah, you guys can be jealous about that. The other day, I tossed my cousin a super like, and her judge tossed me a restraining order. It's a win-win. The other day, I was watching... I say the other day because shit usually happens the other day. With that being said, the other day, I was hanging out with my niece and nephew, and we were having a family movie night. Shit got real. We were watching a 1980s classic, don't know if you've heard of it, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Love it, my favorite movie. And we're sitting there, and there's a part where Judge Reinhold is like flipping burgers, and he's teaching the guy like the way of the land and all that. And my nephew looks over at me, and he's like, Uncle Bill, with so much potential, do you think that I could be a Whopper Flopper one day? And I was like, you know what? If you can dream it, you can do it. It's all in the wrist, son. Then there's a scene, the most earth-shattering scene. I love this, my favorite. Phoebe Cates is getting out of the pool, and Judge Reinhold is in the bathroom masturbating. And at that point, my nephew looks over at me, and he's like, Uncle Bill, is that what people really do? And in my best uncle voice, I was like, you damn right. I do it about 5 times a day. It keeps me as centered as a Tibetan Buddhist. Sometimes, in the words of Matthew McConaughey, if you're doing it 5 times a day, actually, those are rookie numbers. We need to get those numbers up. You need to up it to 10 times a day, Tyler. I hope my nephew's watching this right now. And then there's one point in the movie, my second favorite part in the movie. Phoebe Cates is teaching Jennifer Jason Leigh how to give a blowjob via using a carrot. My niece looks over at me and she says, in puzzlement, is that really what people do? Yeah, Madison, and my best uncle boys, yeah, Madison, that's the way of the world. What the hell is going on? I sit down to have a family movie night and I'm getting a fucking Q&A? Jesus. I'm not Amy Heckerling, the movie producer. Why don't you ask her? But my nephew, he's a very good man, 16 years old. My niece, very good woman, 14 years old. And my nephew asked me the other day, he's like, man, last Christmas he actually asked me, he's like, I want a gift where I'm going to lose weight each day. So I called him every day since then. And this is what I called him, a fat, worthless, bonbon-eating bitch. He went from 290 to 170 real quick. Come to think of it, that sounds like a Drake mixtape. Like, I think I'm going to, name my, next tape, my next mixtape of weight loss. I think I'm going to call it 290 to 170 real quick. The Bonbon Eatin' Bitch edition. I love it. Oh, my God, I can't get over that. I love it. I love just saying Bonbon Eatin' Bitch. I don't know. You guys don't feel it, but I feel it. I think Christmas is the most expensive holiday. Very capitalistic holiday. You can disagree with me if you want. But I know you got some fathers out there. Here's the thing. I think that Santa Claus, there's going to be 2 different types of universes for Santa Clauses. Hear me out. Santa Claus needs to start putting a salary cap on what kids want as gifts. He needs to be a motherfucking NFL owner. That's what he needs to be. Or we need to have a Santa Claus that's going to be like Scared Straight, where he's straight out of prison, actually straight out of prison on work release, telling little kids what they're not going to get. Like, this is what you're not going to get. You think you're going to get that Vigitech over there? Oh, hell no. Get off your ass and go work for it. But I'm only 9. It's exactly what I'm talking about. These millennials, no potential. These kids, no potential. Now get off your ass and go get me a juice. I'm doing my set of sit-ups. You're gonna have kids across the world. This is earth-shattering. Kids across the world sitting over coffee tables talking to Santa Claus while he's just sitting there smoking a cigar. He's just gonna be like, "So what do you want for Christmas this year?" Well, little naive Eddie is probably like, well, I was thinking that I could get that Star Trek USS Enterprise toy. Well, how much is it? It's going to be $80. Nope. You got a salary cap limit, son. It's $20. That's your limit. And the kid's going to be like, but what the hell can I get with $20? You know what you can get with $20? A lump of coal. I beg to differ. That's actually $25. You know what? You got a $5 sign-on bonus. You're actually breaking even. Congratulations. Santa's just going to give a piece of the mind as an NFO owner. Or you're going to have the scared straight Santa, where you're going to have that kid that's going to walk up to him and say, you know, I was thinking that maybe, and he's going to be doing like, he's going to be pumping out his set. He's going to be like, what do you want, Tammy? Dad, we need to talk about my Christmas gifts. Okay, what do you want, Tammy? What do you want for Christmas? I think that I could possibly, can I get a Barbie dream house with this and this and this and this and this? Jesus Christ, kid, what else could you damn want? Get off your ass. Go work for a living. But Dad, I'm only 10 years old. Well, you know what? Then you're not going to get Christmas this year. I think that honestly, here's the thing. I think that we're trillions and trillions in debt, not because of how much like energy that we have to pay for. We're not in debt because of how much fiscal spending and the war funds and all that. I think we're in debt one reason. Christmas. That's why we're in debt. Christmas gifts. That is why we are in debt. Parents are just throwing out multiple money to Santa saying, hey, let's go ahead and regulate the fund for this year. Let's do the Christmas fund. That's the problem. Start regulating. Stop having kids make unreasonable requests, and then you go ahead and like keep going with the unreasonable request. I think like honestly, I just kind of want to dive into like what certain people wanted when they were like young. Like for example, like Mike Pence, I can only imagine what he wanted when he was young. Like I honestly think that the reason why he's so pissed off is because he didn't get that Wham CD that he wanted when he was young. Like someone was like, I'm sorry, Mike, I waked you up before you go-goed, and then I left you with a fucking yo-yo. And that was it. So he's pissed off, and he's like, I want to be gay, but I'm not going to be able to be gay now. That's unreasonable. So mad about it. And he was in his high heels. Just mad. I just hate Santa. I hate him. And then you have Donald Trump. Donald Trump, for example, I want to build a wall. That's what I want for Christmas. Okay, that's not an unreasonable request at all. Just give the motherfucker a couple Legos and let him build for 4 years. Eventually, he'll get there. Eventually, we'll have a quiet 4 years. We won't even have to worry about him. Or Mike Pence. Mike Pence will be like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to put these Legos together. Let's go get some Mexicans. We can't do that. They don't even want to build Legos. Me? What I wanted? Okay. This seems like, it's kind of crazy. I'll throw it out there for you guys. I want conservative Republican white women to stop saying stupid fucking shit. Tommy Lauren went on record on the Trevor Noah show saying, what have the KKK ever done to us? Huh? I don't know. And Ann Coulter writing, Trump is good. We believe in Trump, and Trump we trust. But you know what, guys? I can't have that. You want to know why? It's an unreasonable request. Fuck Tommy Lauren, dude. She got mad because Colin Kaepernick got all angry, or because Colin Kaepernick did one thing. He did this. Which is not a bad thing. This is what people do all the time, except they're usually taking shits while they're doing it. He's not taking a shit on the flag. He's just sitting down. He's taking out a couple plays. He's used to doing this. Let him do it. Fuck. He's not even a good football player. Why are we getting so angry about everything? Is it an unreasonable request? Hey, Colin, could you please do me a favor? This is Billy Orm. I'm actually a Raiders fan, but could you please just stand up so Tommy Lauren will stop fucking bitching? Thank you. Sorry, dog. That's an unreasonable request. You fooled me once. My friend's newly single. Not by choice. His girlfriend cheated on him. Full disclosure there. It's not like he was just like, oh, I'm done. I'm going to sign the papers over to you. You can have the kid. No, she just flat out cheated on him. And she left a note by the bed of all the people that she's fucked. So it's kind of like, you might want to, you might just want to leave her, dude. But every time I talk to him, he refers to his free time as fuck time. Like, he's like, dude, I can't wait. I can't wait till she gets out of the house. You want to know why? And I'm like, why, dude? He's like, because I'll get plenty of fuck time. I was like, dude, you weren't even getting that much fuck time when she was there. Like, he's like, dude, all I want, listen. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm listening. He's like, all I want for Christmas is I want my kid to be babysat. I want to have some free time. And I want to have some fuck time. And I was like, sorry, brother. That's an unreasonable request. I feel like he refers to fuck time like it's like an Iron Man midnight movie showing. Like, he's like, yeah, I can't wait to go see fuck time, dude. I might even go to the midnight showing, bro. Come on, man. Get real. With a body like that, I'm going to have to start calling you a fat, worthless, bonbon-eating bitch. See if you can go from 270 to 190 real quick. Here, take my addition. My nephew doesn't need it anymore. He's pounding more puss than you ever will. God. Good luck, bub. You're going to have to start taking tips from that guy. That guy's my nephew. Crushing it. Speaking of crushing it, I recently applied for jobs in California. I feel like I could say this in a safe place because this is a safe place. I applied to be a medical marijuana salesman. You know, sell a little bit of some of that OG Skywalker, some of that giggle ganja. It's going to be a pretty dope job. Might be my side job. I don't know. Then I also applied for CNA at some prison. I don't know where, but AKA usually probably be wiping Charlie Manson's ass. It's going to be great. Giving him, getting all up in the colon. Because I don't care what you guys say. You could pretty much learn a lot from a guy you can learn a lot from a guy by wiping his ass. Like, did you know that Charlie Manson, and this is me practicing wiping his ass. Did you know that Charlie Manson was just like, he hated the Beatles, he kind of liked the Beatles, but he preferred Bing Crosby? This is me wiping his ass again, tuck it back. All right, good. Did you know that he was a terrible person? That's a given. But he was a phenomenal singer. Like, listen to some of his stuff. Like, I don't know what it's called. I think Look at Your Game Girl. Beautiful song. And did you know he hated the Cubans, but he loved the food? How ironic. He's like, I like a Cuban cuisine. You got it, Charlie, on death row? Fuck, you got it. I wonder what producers do in their free time. You guys ever think about that? Like, what if Tim Burton, after the movie, like, Edward Scissorhands, he didn't want to let it go, and he just started doing, like, manicures? Or he did, like, documentaries, like more to be a mortician or something like that. And that's where he got the inspiration for Corpse Bride. The rest is history. Or what if, like for example, Woody Allen, good guy, very phenomenal. He could make a movie called Daughters about Donald Trump. Only difference is he had the balls to actually do something about it, and he married his daughter. And he's crushing his daughter's puss right now. The only thing that he's going to be able to talk to Donald about, maybe he can make another movie called Art of the Grab. That's what should happen. And then there's that one producer, my favorite, Spike Lee. A Spike Lee joint. Title of the movie, Colonoscopies. I love it. Did you guys know that the vaginal capital painting of the world is Albuquerque, New Mexico? Pretty cool, right? It's not like he's actually painting the clitoris or anything like that. He's painting the outside of it, the vulva. But I can only imagine, like, he's got to be a starving artist. Like, you honestly have to go up to a woman and have a good approach. Like, you have to go up to her at maybe a farmer's market, for example. You could go up to her and you could say, ma'am, you picked out a very phenomenal kumquat. Just please let me paint the vulva. Please? I haven't had a meal in a couple days. Like, it's got to be better than that Snapchat filter that you use. Just come on, man. I think I honestly, this is where he fucked up. He probably painted the vulva, but this is what he painted it, and then there was like a gray hair, and he painted that, and he was too real with it. And then there was like a little like mole there too, and he was too real with it, but it actually turned out to be a herpy. And that guy, like who's like up in a museum, just like looking at the curations or whatever, was like, dude, that's my girlfriend. It's titled Ambidextrous Dexter. Holy shit. I had no idea she had herpes. That's fucking crazy. I'm never dating her again. And no one else is either, apparently. Or he might have painted one too many wrinkles. Like, dude, it's not a face. You can't paint too many wrinkles. You can go without being a little bit unreal for a few. So, I think I'm going to be a good father one day. Yeah. Because I'm not pro-life, and I'm not pro-choice. I'm pro-dreams. And I want my daughter to be happy. Like, I want my daughter to kind of be like Veruca Salt, kind of has that, like, she's kind of an asshole, but she's really kick-ass, and she has that accent, and she comes up to me, and she's like, no, Daddy. So, that kind of sounded hood. Give me a second. No, Daddy, I don't want the Bobby from Dollar General. It has split ends in the hair. What do you want? I would just like a Bobby that's not generic. Okay, simple enough. There you go. No, Daddy, I don't want to be this for Halloween. I want to be a squirrel that picks its own nuts. Okay, win. You get a win-win. Okay. No, Daddy, I don't want to be an aerospace engineer. I would just like to honestly be a porn star. So that Halloween that you had, that's why you wanted to be a squirrel, because you wanted to pick your own nuts? Yeah, Dad. Because you want to be a porn star? Yeah. Fuck it, it checks out. You're not 16, right? You're 18? You're 18? Okay, cool. So no child porn there. You're not going to be a Tracy Lords. I could picture myself on the set of Pornhub. Like, this dude comes up to me, massive cock, big black guy, and he's just like, hey, sir, how's it going? Not too bad. That's actually my daughter over there. Oh, is it her first time? No, she's actually professional. He's like, that's a rhetorical question. I hit that shit last week. And I'd be like, that's cool. What was it like? He's going to be like, dude, she was a phenomenal fuck. And I'd be like, thanks, bro. And he's like, no problem, dude. Happy Father's Day. Okay, I'll leave you guys with this one. I've been up here long enough. I've got different parenting styles with the kind of parent that I'm going to be. Like, I'm either going to be like Martin Luther King Jr., or I'm either going to be like Huey P. Newton, or I'm going to be like George W. Bush. Good old W. Like, for example, I'm going to sound like Martin Luther King Jr. when negotiating contracts for my daughter. I'm going to be like, I have a dream that my daughter will get railed by 7 well-endowed black men, or of any color. She will not judge a man by the color of his skin, but by the content of his character. She will not judge a man by the color of his skin, but by the length of his rod. She will not judge a man by the color of his skin, but by the girth of his penis. Or it could be like George W. Bush, like, so you really want to be a porn star? That's what you want to be? Yeah. Well, last year you wanted to be a squirrel that picked nuts, and this year you want to be a porn star? Jesus. Fooled me once, shame on you. Fooled me twice, whatever. I can't get fooled again. The only time that I'll tell you one thing, the only time that I will negotiate with you fucking a terrorist is if he has a weapon of mass destruction. Don't be racist. Keep his hijab on. Or I'm going to be like Huey P. Newton, where I'm going to be like, my daughter's not going to fuck any pigs unless it's in uniform. Thank you, guys. That's my time.
Ladies and gentlemen, keep it going for Billy Orm. We're going to keep things rolling right along and bring our next comedian to the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Mr. Daniel Matthew.
Yeah, keep it going. I ain't up here yet. That's the most noise I've heard in this room all night. I came in, it was quiet in here, man. I was all like, we're looking at a picture in there, and I was like, that's Jerry. I'm like, why am I whispering, man? This is it's a comedy show, right? It's not a church anymore. Praise the Lord. No, I mean, I grew up in church, man. I do a lot of churches I wore my church clothes. Then they said it was a church of cannabis. I was like, cool, I can wear a hat. Then I was like, man, are they even going to remember the jokes I freaking tell tonight? But praise the Lord. Man, I actually did, I want to be a singer. I don't want to be a comedian my whole life. I want to be a singer, like a church singer, like glamorous. So I tried out at one. They were sending missionaries to Africa. And I figured I could be the praise and worship leader because I got 2 little girls, and I've seen The Lion King like 100 times. I can sing fluent African. I'd be up there like, ha, simhenya, butibotibiriba. Hey, Monya, hey, Monalabayo. Yeah, it'd be all right, man. I filled out an application for a church. It was called, dig this, it was pretty cool. It was called God's Place. I'm like, man, my name is Reverend Teddy P. Y'all, Teddy Pendergrass. Come on and go with me. Come on over to God's place. Yeah. I don't know. I don't talk about politics much when I'm on stage because I think politics will create division. But really, with Trump being president, man, that's kind of funny because I want to see them put that hairdo on a coin. That fuck up the mint for like years, man. But really, actually, if you want to know who I would want to see vote or run for president, Joel Osteen. Come on, man. That's the happiest dude I've ever seen in my life. America could use some happiness. I mean, think about it, though. He'd probably do all right, even with people. There's white people that would vote for Joel Osteen because he's rich, and they got a book. They don't even have to go to church, believe in God, but they got a Joel Osteen book next to the shitter at their house. Guaranteed. I think he would do all right with the Latino population because he's from Texas. And that shit's close enough, right? And I think the black population would vote for Joel Osteen because that's the only white dude I've ever seen that looks good with a Jerry curl. Man, what time does the church get started around here? Y'all, I'd imagine they don't start church around here till like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You go to, man, I'm telling you, there's a difference between going to church with black folk and going to church with white people is the time. Man, white people will start church. They'll want me there for like a comedy show. We start at 6 a.m. Easter morning, 6 a.m. start. And I told him, man, Jesus didn't even get up that early on Easter morning. And he was in hell. My Lord, man. I'm telling you, if you go to church with black people, man, you all right. They ain't starting until like 11:20 by my watch. And I'm wondering, man, what's up with that? What are we always going to talk about that? Oh, black people are 20 minutes late for people, and white people are always on time, right? Somebody said that to me, and they told me at church that I was light-skinned. So I said, good, next week I'm going to be 10 minutes late. Man, for real. I think that predominantly black people churches will prepare you for heaven better than white folks churches because just like heaven, their services last for eternity. True story, man. Then they'll tell you to come back for the evening service. You got 20 minutes to get a snack. 20 minutes, come on back. I said, that's 40 by my watch, Pastor. 40 minutes, man. I'm telling you. You got to watch what kind of churches you go to. I was a little nervous about coming to this one. Be honest. I mean, let's be honest. I've never been here. Am I going to have to hold a snake? No. And they're going to have some juice? No, I'm good. But praise the Lord. Hey, y'all. Guess what time it is? It's offering time. It's offering time. We'll go ahead and set around the plate. If it's green, you can give it, brother. Praise the Lord. That's one of their offering envelopes, by the way. It's empty. Man, you got to be watching. You got to be careful. You got to be careful what churches you go to. One thing you don't ever want to do is let somebody pray for you that has bad breath. For real. And you praying the whole time. You get religious with that. You don't even have to know God. You be like praying like, Lord, just let him finish. Give him the Holy Ghost revelation in the manifested form of a breath mint. Just one tic-tac, Lord. Pastor said you rained manna from the sky earlier today. You can't just give me one tic-tac. For real, man. I'm working on theology thing. Like, I'm trying to prove that the Virgin Mary was not a black woman. Because listen, black ladies keep it real. You know, I go to church with black ladies all the time. And I just couldn't see, I mean, if you know the story about Christmas, you know, the journey, everything to where baby Jesus was born, man. Can you see a black lady that night? I ain't finna have no baby in no manger. I just got my hair did. There's a story in the Bible that says Jesus left to go pray in the desert for 40 days and 40 nights. You know he didn't have no black woman at the house. Come home, you've been gone for a month and 10 days. She's like, what is the bitch's name? Where's she at? Got a little razor blade coming at him. Man, that's where he got them holes in his hand. He was married. Yeah, I'll tell you, is anybody married out there? Huh? I can't see anybody. So you're like, yeah, the dude raised his hand like, ooh, ooh, like I'm going to call on him. Nobody's married? Half and what the hell does that mean? That means your husband at home and you with your side man? No, I'm just kidding. I've been married happily for 1 year. I've been actually married for like 7. But no, I do, man. Listen, I love my wife, man. Sometimes, you know, when I'm at work or sleeping, you know, I love the thought of my wife. Now, but I'm waiting for that point where marriage is like you either still love each other or every fucking murder attempt has failed. You know, I'm talking about like happiness staying together. You know what I mean? Because, man, marriage is tough. Marriage is work, man. My wife's grandparents just celebrated 65-year anniversary, man. That's huge. 65 freaking years, one person. What the hell y'all clapping for? You had nothing to fucking do with it. I'm from Ohio. Y'all clapping like y'all, yeah, give yourselves a hand. Give yourselves a hand. Good job. That's funny. I'm from Ohio, and I brought half the audience. What is the ratio? I mean, Lima is a little-ass town compared to Indianapolis. Oh, man, but that's all right, because apparently we got nothing to do, so we willing to drive 3 hours to hang out. Welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for having us. I do appreciate it. I really do. But, man, marriage is tough. 65 years, man. 65 years. So we were at dinner. I wanted to know, after 65 years, if they still get fresh. He misunderstood me. He told me to wrap in some foil. When I asked her grandfather he said, stick it in some Tupperware. I'm like, damn, your grandparents are some freaks, man. Jesus. For those of you that aren't married, and I hope you're old enough to remember the 80s and songs from the 80s, but I'm going to kind of sum up how, like, falling in love, you know, you fall in love, you get engaged, and then you get married and kind of on for the long haul in a song from the 80s. And sometimes when we touch, this is when you still love, right? And the honesty's too much. And I have to close my eyes and hide. This is when you've been married for a few years. I want to choke you till you die. Till there's no more breath inside. I want to choke you till the life in you subsides. That's marriage 101. Yeah, I'm telling you. But you can learn a lot of things from your wife. I've learned that women are smarter than men. I've learned to never finger check a diaper too far with you. Seriously, you know how if you check a diaper, you kind of pull the back. Sometimes you see them pull back. Well, I learned don't stick your finger in there that far. It's a true story. We was at a Mexican restaurant, La Charretas in Lima, best Mexican restaurant in town. And we smelled something, right? My wife kind of reached over and she pulls out a little brown surprise. And if I could teach any of the comedians in here tonight something, timing is everything in comedy. Because just then the waiter walks up. And he says, how was your food? And I said, my food's great, but my wife's refried beans smell like shit. What is going on? You got to spend quality time with your wife. Quality time. I'm talking quality time, gentlemen. Like I watched the Titanic. You know, women like them sappy movies. And between the 6 of us, I took a 3-hour nap and I watched the last hour and a half of the Titanic. And I'll tell you this, if I started in that movie, it would have ended differently. That water looked fucking cold. There would have been a line in the end of the movie that said, girl, you better get your own piece of wood to float on. That water is freezing. And you'll also learn that when you do comedy, you're going to offend people in the audience. And some of them, what I like, are the ones that actually wait through the whole show. I might be the first act, but you're going to wait an hour and a half to tell me something that you didn't like from my bit. And this gentleman walked up to me one night after I did that joke. He says, you would let your wife freeze to death in that water? I said, that depends on the day we had up until that point. Married people know every day is a fucking different, man. You know, there's the good and the bad. But well, you would let your daughters freeze in that water? Because, you know, I do some jokes about my daughters, and, you know, and I said, sir, my kids weigh 31 pounds combined. They can sit on my lap. Oh, I just can't believe you would let your wife freeze to death in that water. And I said, well, let's hold on a second, sir. And I said, first of all, women carry different factors. I said, what if she's in the water and it's that time of month? That shit's going to attract sharks. Chances are she's not going to freeze to death, right? I told that joke for the first time, and my wife was in the audience that night. She's on the way home. She's like, you would let me get eaten by sharks? I said, honey, I'm holding the kids. What the fuck do you want me to do? God, listen to the jokes. If you'd only listen to me, our relationship would be better. She said I got a real knack for tuning her out. And I said, what? I didn't hear you, honey. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah. Tune them out, man. You got to tune them out. Find something positive to do. I've been working out a little bit. Thank you for the applause. You didn't applaud because you don't see the results yet, okay? But I'm serious. This is how I know results. Is I knew I needed to start kind of working out and lose my belly. I started going through like 2 times as much deodorant. When you got to like lift your belly up. It's time to start working out, man. Damn. Running around having these kids, man. Kids are a trip, man. Anybody got kids? Kids, parents? Oh, what the fuck you all? You're all kids anyways. Man, but this is a church. So I will take a moment, if you could, pray for my daughter Olivia. Actually, I try not to miss a comedy show. The only time I'm gonna miss a comedy show if I'm deathly ill or if something to do with my kids, and because my kids come first. And my daughter right now, Olivia, is she's going through some stuff, and it's hard. It was hard to make this show, and I was actually looking forward to it. So to take a second, if you could just. If you do pray for her. Her name's Olivia. She's going through some identity issues right now, which kids do, man. Kids do, and you know, just pray that she finds her way. Pray that she finds herself. So in your prayers, once again, Olivia, she's 2 years old. So, and I believe that she believes that she is Jean-Claude Van Damme. You guys remember him from the action movies? Because she'll grab her Barbie dolls, man, be like, I'm afraid to hold her. Man, she plays rough. I thought it partially might be my fault because at the ultrasound, I thought she was a boy. It was pretty cool, man. See the ultrasound, you know, I was looking at this and I see the head, and, you know, you can see him moving in the body and her arm. And then I seen this big thing come up. And I said, praise the Lord, I'm having a boy. The doctor was like, relax, sir, that's a leg. And then he showed me another and moved the camera down, and he said, oh, you can see there. He's like, it's the U shape there, sir. See the U shape? That's her vagina. I said, U shape, huh? And I said, well, is there any possibility he's got that mug folded in half? It's my son. Tell him, honey. They ask you some pretty stupid questions at a hospital. Ask me my name. I said, Daniel Matthew Sapansky. She said, can you spell that? I said, T-H-A-T. Reason is, I thought it was a test. Like, if you can't spell the word that, I wouldn't let your dumbass leave with a baby from the hospital. And she said, is there anyone you want present in the room during the delivery? I said, the doctor. Put him on the list. Then they're going to ask you a dumb question. In case of emergency, who should we notify? I said, you went to college for this. We are at the hospital already. The doctor is on the list. What else do you need from me? Let him know he will be present. You learn things about your kids. You got to learn you got to learn and kind of see what your kids are good at, what their qualities are, what their downfalls are. Right now, my daughter Olivia, I don't know if she's got the best survival skills that I've ever seen on a child or the worst. Because we'll play like games where I'll chase them around, Daddy gonna get you. Daddy gonna get you. My 5-year-old, she'll just run off. This is what Olivia does. I'll be like, Daddy gonna get you. Like I said, I don't know if they're the worst or the best. I'm like, honey, you gotta give it a run. This is her newest thing. She wanna always give me something, right? She'll be like this. Now her newest thing. Daddy. There won't be nothing in her hand. But I got to play along, man. You got to play along with your children's imaginations. I'm like, thank you, honey. Thanks for nothing. Kids eat for free. That's some bullshit. I got 2 kids, 5 and 2, and they ain't paid for that fucking meal once. They eat for free. That's a rhetorical statement like a restaurant going to be, well, the kids eat for free? I said they eat for free all the time. Went to a steakhouse one time and my daughter threw a fit, man. I'm telling you, you'll learn that's parenting. When you in a public place, that's going to show you if you a murderer or not, what kind of person you are. If your children will act up and act unruly and pitch a fit in public and you don't kill them, I'll smack them. I'll beat the shit out of them. I'll smack my kids. I'll spank my kids because I'm not going to let the judge do it. I'm going to do it. But, man, we're leaving. My daughter, I'm talking about embarrassed. I get up on stage, and I've had bad shows before, so I can be embarrassed, folks. But you want to talk about, like, sweating embarrassed. People looking at you, like dysfunctional family type shit embarrassed. Like, geez, make you fucking nervous, man. That kind of fit. Right? And we're leaving, and I know he was just being a nice guy. And the freaking general manager's like, oh, he says, bye, little angel. To my daughter, I look back, I said, little angel. I said, what kind of fucking cult are you in? Little angel, my goodness, man. So they say Olivia resembles me a little bit, resembles her daddy. She resembles her daddy. I'm like, she's saying my daughter looks like a boy. That's kind of fucking rude, But who it really started making mad was my wife. Nobody says that the baby resembles me. And listen, I'm telling you, I told you before, if you want a happy marriage, you got to lift up and encourage your wife. And I said, honey, she resembles you just fine. The other day I watched her eat a booger. I mean, you can't get much farther than that. Man, I'm telling you. Then I've already mentioned her, Isabella. She's 5 now, so, man, they smart, man. Kids are smart. They're always watching. They're always paying attention, man. She knows how to get daddy. She'll just do this. I mean, she probably thinks her middle name's No, because now she's at the point, everything she's doing, I'm like, Isabella! I'm like, no! And she'll do this. And it, like, melts my heart, man. Like, every time I'm mad at her, she's doing something, and I'm like, all right, honey. And then I started thinking. I was like, man, I wonder if that could work for me. If I get pulled over by the police or something. They're like, Daniel Matthew, we're going to go ahead and issue a citation tonight for speeding, not wearing your seatbelt, texting while driving. I could try it. You know what I mean? It's kind of... Yeah. You know what the next thing would sound like, right? Step out of the car, please, sir. Yeah, look here. I'd say I'm a fairly decent looking guy, I'm not like male model good looking, but in jail, I'm pretty enough to let y'all do the math on that shit, man, because I learned, yeah, for real, you got to have a career in jail or a skill, something to keep you alive, man. What am I going to be? Some like washed up disco singer up in the shower and shit? So I'd like to know what you're in for. Said I'd like to know what you're in for. Drop the soap. Don't drop the soap, baby. Drop the soap. Don't bend your butt over. Drop the soap. So that is, thank you. That's, I sold 2 albums in jail. I made them out of a bar of soap. Yep, don't drop the soap. Kids are great though, man. Speaking of soap, because they're dirty as fuck. That's why nobody said anything. I was like, I found out with audience, you gotta ask the audience, who's got kids? You can be like, hey, yeah. Like, all right, who's got some messy ass fucking kids? And everybody like, yeah, that's me. Man, messy kids, dude, look, if you don't know if you got messy kids or not, I'm gonna say, do you have to like broom off your furniture before you vacuum? You got some messy ass fucking kids, man. Do you got to take your kid out of their high chair, turn her upside down by her legs when she's done eating, and shake the food off? There's some messy kids. Don't judge me. I keep a clean house. They say don't hit your kids, right? Or what is it? No, don't choke your kids, right? Don't shake your kids. That's what it is. That's right, because they didn't say you can't choke them. I know when to let go. When they're a little hint of blue, man, like my dude's color of shirt, you just let go, man. The whole time, just say, shh, go to sleep. Go to sleep. Daddy's just hugging your throat. That's all. A little peace and quiet, man. I'm telling you, man. If you would have asked me when I was like 20 if I'd love to live with 3 beautiful blonde women, I'd be like, yeah, cool, snap, whatever was cool back then. Now I'm like, really? I just want to fucking poop. I'm telling you, man. Dude, that's what I got to spend my bathroom times with Olivia, Isabella, Anna, and Elsa, and the rest of the cast from that fucking Frozen movie. Let it go. Let it go. That's fun. Man, that movie was on at my house for 2 years straight, probably every day it played. And I still haven't seen the whole thing. I think I've seen the whole movie, not just at one time, so I thought it was kind of cool. It was like a Quentin Tarantino version of Frozen. You know, like I got to put the shit together. I've seen the end, you know, and then I had to watch the beginning later and the middle at the last part. So I think I got pretty much the concept of the movie. I didn't think it was that good. You know, for as big as it was, it really wasn't that good of a movie. Much better movies out there for your children to enjoy. Just a thought. Well, that's what this is. This is just 30 minutes of my fucking opinion, right? So who cares if they're comedy related? I'm just saying, you know, if you guys are wondering, having kids is great, but you got tough decisions to make if you're going to be a father. Tough decisions. What half of a kid's meal do you want to finish? Yep. Be prepared as a parent. Always check your diaper bag. Always make sure you got plenty of wipes and at least 2 replacement diapers. I can tell you this because I need you gentlemen to see the pain in my eyes, feel the struggle that I've gone through with not checking the diaper bag and being fucking prepared, man. I took my kids to the park and I had 1 diaper and my daughter decided to take a dude dump. She's fucking 2 and she took a dude dump, man. And I had no wipes. I had 1 diaper, but I mean, you got to clean that shit up. And when they take a dude dump is where you can't even use any of the diaper salvageable to do any of the wiping. You know, it's just all over the place, man. And I'm a praying man. I didn't know what to do. I prayed. What do I do, Lord? I was like, use $1. I thought my prayers had been answered. I didn't hear that prayer right because I had shit all over me, man. What are you laughing at, dude? Let me see you try to wipe up a dirty diaper with 3 quarters, 2 dimes, and a nickel. You see how that works for you, okay? All right? I'm just saying, be prepared, Carrie. So I got some wipes under the front seat of the car. I'm telling you, that's how prepared of a parent I am nowadays, man, for real. You got to be prepared. I'm prepared for when they go, man, I don't even want to talk about that. Look forward to the future when they're going to bring somebody home with them, man. Damn. I'm going to go to jail, y'all. For real. And actually, man, and I've never done this. I've never done this joke live because I'm still kind of working on it. But this next joke is kind of to prepare you whether or not if you're a prejudiced person or not. Most people would say no. My honest answer is I don't know yet. This is how. My daughters are not of dating age. And I believe that parents, you're going to find out if you're a prejudiced person if your daughter brings home a person of different skin color. That's when you're going to know, okay, I think I'd be all right with it as long as he treats her like a queen. It don't matter what the color of your skin is. But, man, being a parent, you got to be prepared, man. You got to be prepared. But this is one thing, guys, this is one thing to look forward to when you get into your, 38, 39, almost 40. Daughters will let beautiful younger women that normally wouldn't pay you any fucking attention to come up and strike a conversation with you. I took my girls to a restaurant, and this waitress walked up, dude. She was smoking hot, bud. I wasn't even sitting in her section. She's like, oh, my God, you are so adorable. I want to take you home. And I said, that sounds great. What you want me to do with these kids? For real, man. Preschool. My 5-year-old's going to preschool. Bella's going to preschool now. So she's at night practicing her letters. And, so now I can actually get one of them out of the toilet when I'm trying to go to the restroom and go write Daddy a letter. Go write Daddy a love note. The other day, she come slipped one under the door that she wrote me. Most of it wasn't even legible, right? I'm like, oh, did you write Daddy a love letter, honey? She's like, yeah. I said, oh, that's so sweet. I said, what does it say? And this is what my daughter said. I don't know, Daddy. I thought you could read. I swear, if I didn't have shit in my ass at that moment, it would have been one of them choke situations that I talked about earlier. For real, man. Yeah. And you got to be prepared to answer questions that you're not ready to or you didn't think your kid was old enough for. We took Bella to the zoo and the petting department one time, and that was when she was in the stage of, what's that? 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 I'm like, hold on, you've got me dizzy. And then she walks right up to this horse, this pony. Eye level with his. She's like, Daddy, what is that? Look down, I said, that is about average, honey. Give or take a few inches. What? So my daughter's going to have big expectations in life. Best part about the zoo trip was the birds, man. We went and seen they had these trained birds, and this bird the trainer would like make a clicking sound, and it would fly from a perch, and it would grab money out of people's hands. And it was taking it back, and it was like dropping it in this little collection box underneath its perch. And I'm like, no way, man. So, of course, my daughter wants to do it. We were like 25 minutes in line for me to give this bird $1 is really what boils down to. But we waited 20 minutes in line. Bella didn't want to do it when we got up there. So finally I get up there, and I hold up my $1, and this trainer goes, and man, no shit, this bird flew off the perch. It come and grabbed the $1 bill right out of my hand, flew it back in, and it dropped it into the box. And the trainer was like, do you have any questions? I said, yeah, how much you want from the birds? For real, I'm going to take them things to church on Sunday. Let them go at offering time. Hell yeah, raise up your seed. Birds flying. But you'd probably start like a fake revival with that. You know what I mean? Because there's some people that take it way too serious. They'd be like, God sent a bird from heaven to take my money. Thank you, Jesus. For real. I was in church one time, and they asked, it's so funny, they asked, what would you do if somebody just blessed you with $20,000? Amen. Everybody answered, I make sure I give it to the church, Pastor. I'll give it to the church. I was like, I would probably fall out screaming like one of them chicks on the Maury Povich show. 20 grand to buy you a lot of diapers, man. For real. Wow. And one thing else that you don't want to, before I go, I'm just going to let y'all know something here is, don't ever go to, even a place like this, it used to be a church, but most of it, churches, public places, listen, don't go and blow up the bathroom. You know why? People going to look at and remember your shoes. Serious, truth to you never walked in the restroom and just smelled something funky and looked at that mug's shoes. I did a comedy show at a church one time, and I was the first act up. I did about 15 minutes, good set, good crowd, and I had to go to the bathroom afterwards, man. And I hurried up and I ran in there, and whew, somebody needed to repent. Man, it was nasty. And I looked at the dude's shoes, man. I was like, ah. So then it was funny because it's like I couldn't pay attention to the whole service, man. I was looking for the shoes, man. Seriously, man. Like I was looking under the pews for the shoes, man. Like looking, and it was cool because it was one of them churches where they do their offering thing, and they everybody walks up front, see who's cheap and who's not giving, and I kind of stood there and sat there in the front like a checkpoint, man. They was walking by, and I was like, nope. I figured they got what the church calls a revelation. And he went home and changed his shoes. That or like I would switch with somebody, man. Seriously, I don't care if you wear size 6. I wear, depending on the cup, about a 12 or a 13. I'd be walking around looking mad foot in some size 6s. Like. So when the church service was over and stuff, man, the pastor and the pastoral administration, they wanted to have me come up, and they wanted to pray and bless my comedy career, and I thought that was nice. I believe prayer is very powerful. So I walked up, and they anointed my head with some holy oil, and he says, now bow your head, son. I want to pray for you. One guy got it. I found the shoes I was looking for. Praise the Lord. I found them, Pastor. And then I was like, wait a minute. Was that oil you just rubbed on my head? I know your hands are blessed and sanctified, but I was wondering if they was washed and sterilized at that point, Pastor. Well, hey, y'all been a great crowd. My name is Daniel Matthew. Thank you guys very much. God bless.
All right, keep it going for Daniel Matthew. And we are going to keep things rolling right along here at the First Church of Cannabis. Next up on the stage, he is just yet another of the illegitimate bastard children of the Lannister family. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Jerry Goebel.
Thank you. Give it up for Hot Frog in the back there, the voice. Thanks, everybody.
Baby, we're going to party. I'll party with you and the orangutans, man.
So I'm standing Kentucky Fried Chicken, and I kind of pissed myself. And it wasn't on purpose. It was just because I'm old. And I was trying to pee through the pee hole and not take... I was trying to cut corners and not open my pants. And I tried to up and over on the Hanes, but I got new Hanes because they're, I'm dating now, so I got better underwear. So the problem is the hose got janked up in there, and I'm trying to finish the deal. So next thing you know, I got spots. Big old, you can't see that anymore, big old spots. Like the liver spots of the soul that Jerry has right there on his crotch. Just standing there in the line with that kid, took my order and snickered the whole time. I could tell. He's like, yeah, you want the original formula? Yeah, I like the original formula. Finger looking good. Fuck you. You want any sides with that? You want any big ones? Big side, extra large? You want to upgrade? Fucking dick, man. Nice suffer my pee humiliation. It's the worst feeling in the world. And it's bad because I got new underwear that's got a dog face on the front. And it's supposed to be sexy, but it's comical when you get to a certain age. It really is. It's not funny at all. It looks like a basset hound, really. It's like it's supposed to be a wolf, but it's like the saddest fucking wolf ever. It's like that wolf, it's like, I know I didn't make the cut on Balto or something. I was like, I'm not going to make the gang this year. It's the saddest husky ever. So, me and my testicles. Going around from place to place. Everybody say they're all over the place, granted, It's the worst, and it's the worst thing. Cause the thing is, okay, so the worst part about having this little thing is that the dog's nose is always wet now. And it's not sexy. You'd think, at least he's healthy. The nose is cold. That's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. I don't do sexy well. I'm embarrassed. That's how I'm breaking out. breaking out. I'm suffering an edible complex right here. This is what this is working out.
Oh no. Gonna leave your mother, finally? 50 years old, none of my business, but,
Yep, awkward dating Jerry. I'm going to get, we'll get a Nintendo and we'll play some video games. That's sexy Jerry right there. If I'm really hot to trot, we'll play Sega Genesis. Sexy Garden Eden gaming. So it's a sad existence. It really is. So there I am, the Kentucky Fried Chicken, and this guy's just undressing me with his eyes. I'm just like, you know what, dude? Seriously, it's a $10 share bucket. I get it, but it's not communal, sir. This leak is for someone special. My nurse. The person who's going to take me out my insurance policy. That's what it is. The first time there's a leak, they take you out in a field and shoot you in the back of the head. They're like, I don't know, the plumbing seems to be not working very well anymore here. We ought to just take it out in the field and shoot it. Do you want to, is that a, it's Jerry Goebel, middle-age crisis dating guy. Stressful, man. It's stressful. I'm even fixed, and I'm still stressing. That's not even cool. That's not normal. You shouldn't be stressing at that level. Because there's the failures. I just read this article today about how men put their anger on women. And it was written as this lady, very nice lady, wrote this really long article about why we suck. And the whole, okay, so here was the gist of what I got of it. Because you don't want to hurt our feelings, you take our abuse. It was sort of what I got out of it, which was like really weird. Because then it was like all these problems that happened because she went along with it. And I'm like, why didn't you just quit faking the orgasm right up front? And no, there's no lies. You lie on that basic level, chances are the relationship's rocky already to begin with. You're like, oh, Jesus Christ, even as a drunken lay, I'm not getting off here. We're, not even squirting the walls. What's going on here, kid? This isn't romantic. Jerry. Dun, 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 dun. Jerry, you're out on a date. What do you do? What do you do? I choke on my tongue. Because I'm Catholic. There's going to be a tongue involved in there somewhere, Jerry. Where do you put your tongue? That's really what's important. So just choke on it. It seems to be the easiest. Because otherwise that's that fear of failure. Because that's what the article was saying, was that men put their aggression on women because they can't handle the... Okay, so if a woman will suffer the slings and indignities of 1,000 come-ons from all these guys because she's worried these guys will have poor self-esteem. And it'll hurt their feelings for her to say, fuck you, I wouldn't do you in 100 years. That was sort of way. And then I'm listening to this thing, and they were talking about the anger, and I'm like flushed. I don't know if you see this. I'm like a burn victim here. I'm like, right? I've got all these, it's a multicolor. I'm definitely not the kind of person that's going to make the transition to the HD scene. You know what I mean? It's like when silent movies changed over to talkies, there was that loss. Well, here's the loss of HD right here. This is the blemishy thing that shows up on your doorstep and won't quit doing time until you pay it. And here we are. I don't know. Dating is strange, man, especially when you're starting over again. I never really knew how to do it in the first place. I guess that was my real problem. I guess this is the whole time around. I'm a little more suspicious this time around. As I'm like, oh, what am I going to fuck up? What am I going to be held accountable for this time? God damn it. Because, she's going to say that she took something here, and my anger that's going to be put out means I'm a douchebag. So I got to make sure I'm not an angry douchebag this time around. It's real hard. It's real hard. It really is. It's a struggle. Because I'm a literalist, man. If you tell me something, I follow through with it, man. I'm listening to your words. Because I used to do Dungeons and Dragons, all right? And we used to do wishes, man. You had to be specific on the fucking wishes. So I'm listening to every fucking consonant. I know exactly what you said, and I answer specifically what you answered. So when you say, do you want to go to Goodwill? I go, no. Because I don't personally. But I know my ex used to go, why don't you want to go with me? Well, that wasn't in the question. I'm a literalist. I answered the specifics. If you just said, would you go out in the field and shoot yourself in the back of the head and get this out of this marriage, Jerry? I probably would have said, you know what? If you can get me the gun on credit. Because I'm going to go in the hole on everybody. I figure I'd make it a clean sweep, right? You know, embezzle it all. Yeah, that's going to be my contribution to society, is I want to teach you guys how to blow up your Visa debt to extraordinary means, and then you can scream for a government bailout later. That's right. Right, it's a dream. Yeah, it's all fake. How did this happen in the pioneer days where all these guys were standing around and somebody said, you know what, Jeremiah, I'm worried about my credit rating. My survival may depend on whether or not I make this payment on time on the 25th or the 28th, because, I mean, really, seriously, a late fee could really rack this. Oh, my God. This is where we are. We've been settled into being insurance babies, and we're happy that somebody else can take care of it. Frankly, I don't trust the fuckers that are doing it. Nothing personal. I mean, that's probably why we're not on Indiana Talks Radio right now. But, because the liberal people don't. Liberals, conservatives, nobody really wants to talk about the real big problem we have in this country. It's the big three, the petrochemical, the prison system, and the pharmaceutical. I mean, there's the big three of fucking shit up right now. And Eli Lilly, man, you're talking about we're at Grand Central Station of the drug trade. Amazing. Nobody ever wonders where this elephant tranquilizer shit comes from. It just grows wild on the side of the road. Why? It's oh my gosh, a bush of roofies. Let's get those roofies. They're just over here. Is there just the coke spontaneously? Whatever, man. Where's this heroin coming from? It's my Willikers. Shh. Eli Lilly owns the patent right now on LSD. Eli Lilly owns the patent on cannabis oil. Interesting. What kind of hostage scenario we got going? So, I find it interesting that in the day and age, right where we're now, we got the for-profit prison system, right? So we cut out the sweatshops. We put the sweatshops in the prisons. We don't even have to take those people that we didn't even care for in the first place. Those people the people that you let live, that you just used to fill the prisons. It's okay if we give them good jobs now. That's the best part about it. Give them good jobs. Good jobs and good prisons. That's what it's all about. There'll be a punk in every pot. Everybody gets theirs this year in the prison system, because that's what it'll be. Social Security, Medicaid. You may as well legalize weed, empty the prisons out, make them retirement communities. Do something useful with them, for Christ's sakes. The violent people that are in there, a lot of those guys are crazy as fuck. A lot of them are in there because there's an illegal drug trade, hint, hint. But we're slaves to it, So, I'm in a red state. I could, for my proclivities, I've been watching a lot of Oliver Stone history, so I'm really ready to be assassinated. Because that's really what it comes down to, really. If you are talking about real things to real people that really matter, and you're going around a way that people don't care for it. So, I've used stand-up comedy. I've been totally playing the game with this the whole year. I bring in a whole bunch of people. They come in and do the funny stuff, and then I come in at the ass end and I drop a little evil. Like Hanoi Jerry. I'm over here, Tokyo Jerry, running the drug war in Indiana. Tokyo Jerry, smoke that spliff and blow it in the face of a stormtrooper. You should, the Tyler Durden, Jerry Goebel. He was at the Church of Cannabis, and he was talking at first about peaceful ways of resolving these things, but you know how things get. Lenny Bruce versus United States. We're already being investigated, so who cares? And it's true. The phone's tapped. Got those criminal informants coming in. Those are always the best ones, because they're always, I really feel bad for them, and it's a shitty thing to do if you're a cop, frankly. Criminal informant, really. You're going to send a dude who's already bad enough to get busted on this already, and now he has to turn into an actor. And he has to go into the First Church of Cannabis and wander around and ask for weed. You know what I mean? Like, is there any possible chance of success on this? Have you guys done any James Bond? Have you read a James Bond at all? If this isn't the guy you send in, this is the guy that tells you that there's some shit going down. Don't stand next to that guy. You know what I mean? He's the obvious flag in the room. But my question is, if you were a little smoother, you could get in. Say you could start your own comedy night and take the church over slowly from the inside.
I'm funnier than Joel Osteen. That's where it'll come down to. Please send your donations to the First Church of Cannabis, or we're going to let Jerry Goebel outside. That's right now, this is what it's turned into. This is actually, you people out there, you have a right to be scared of me. You shouldn't be frightened. You should cower. Look at this, edible complex unresolved. That's just things I'm shitting about. I'm just thinking about that. That's not even doing nothing. You should be worried. Be very, very worried. This church, as a matter of fact, is probably the only thing containing me from blowing this neighborhood completely up. This is the only containment property, really. This is actually the best containment facility for Satan I've ever seen. This is probably the best. They're like, oh, Satan, you can escape. And he's like, no, I can do more time. Is this my good side? I don't know. Okay. Which scarring shows up better? I don't know. The neighbors have to be afraid. This is like a John Carpenter film. Like, you guys seen Prince of Darkness? Alice Cooper is a transient in it, and there's like the cool mirror. This is my favorite Dungeons and Dragons trope, was the cool mirror to another dimension, you know? And I'm like, wow, that's really, and that's kind of what this place would be like. That's what it should be. This would be the John Carpenter movie. This would be, obviously, I'm going to be, the bad guy. You need to work on your punchlines. Time marches on. You're getting the light. I could totally see this. It'd be like, one day I'll be free in this neighborhood, and you people should be scared. So, and guys from Ohio, good night. Thank you for coming out. Be safe. I'm going to keep going for another 40, 50 minutes. I don't care. I'm just doing this out of spite. Out of spite. Do you hear me? You guys didn't get the tour, but I love you deeply. When the cult happens, you will be remembered. The King James Revised 15th version of the First Church of Cannabis Bible. We're still trying to resolve whether we're meditating in a quiet space or we're in a quiet space meditating. We can't, the big Council of Worms problem we have here, these are our religious things we wrestle with. It's phrasing. How does anybody take any of it seriously? I don't know. He's been up there for an hour. And I just keep going back to the fact that I'm standing in Kentucky Fried Chicken and I've pissed myself. And it's just the ultimate humiliation of it all. It's like waiting for Godot, except it's a very tiny little performance, and it's this with 2 spots of water on your crotch. And you get existential despair. You can see the dog, he's crying. He's like, oh. Your Basset Hound underwear isn't really very happy. Yeah, so my kid's 17. He's going to be leaving soon. Or I will be. One or the other. Somebody's got to go because there's only one PS4. And I know, Battlefield 1. He's got a better kill to death ratio than I do. But frankly, it's not really about killing. It's more about, team support kind of thing. So, not to be smug in my old age, but finally a game where actual support matters. I mean, all these years I've been bullshitting my way through Call of Duty, pretending like somehow kill to death didn't matter, but it always mattered. Battlefields, Battlefront. Nope. Yep, I'm playing World War I pull the trigger 25 feet, that bullet hits the ground. It's not going nowhere. This is that's why these wars were so catastrophic, because you had to be within arm's reach to beat each other to death. And then you didn't have anything to do it, because you can have apparently some of these guns, you may as well just pick up peas and throw them at them, or, I don't know, a handful of gravel. Really, if you were fighting as a Soviet, I get it. But, break out your gravel, prepare your assault. That's the light infantry, of course, because the heavy infantry would have real stones. The light infantry just brought gravel. It was more about eye irritation and slowing the troops down than actual, incapacitation. But enough about strategy. Another 30 minutes. I'm going to keep going. I made it my goal. We lost our radio station. Did you hear? The sadness of sadness. You wonder why we lost this radio station. Maybe it was the continuous threats, sure. Maybe it was the fact that we just said cunt because we could. Sure. I just don't like it. I don't know, man. I guess, okay, so my whole thing was, so we get this thing, and I'm like, I don't even know if they're listening.
You know what I mean? Okay, so if hell is you are by yourself, hell is not knowing if anybody's listening and you're doing it. And then the question is, you're still doing it, right? So the crazy guy in the corner that's just kind of doing his own thing, kind of like what I'm doing here. So like if you guys weren't right here, I'm the crazy guy in the corner doing exactly the same thing. At what point does this become madness, you know? And then you start going, oh, but wait a minute, we're going to live stream your madness. Well, who's watching? I don't know. Somebody, maybe. Maybe there'll be somebody. Okay, I know what we'll do. We'll go on Facebook Live, and then I'll send people to my YouTube thing, and then I'll be watched by 2 different sources. It's like, oh, that's great. But, you know, Google Earth, they're already looking at you. And you're going, damn. You know, you just... And then you're just in this room, and you're talking, and I know I've got hostages now. So, just like, is anybody listening? It's like, Indiana Progressive Talks Radio. I was horrible to you. I was horrible to you, but I didn't know you existed, and now that I know you're there, I love you. Please come back to me. Put me back on your rotation. I swear I'll be good again. I won't do anything. I won't be Ike Turner. I totally will. Totally will. The nature of comedy. Betrayal. Right? No, it's not. About watching and observing. That's what it's about. As I stand there with my 2 pea spots at the Kentucky Fried Chicken, realizing he's watching me and I'm watching him, and now I'm on the internet and everybody knows I pissed my pants. And why did you say that, Jerry? You proclaim it to the world so that no one will notice. It worked for Bruce Springsteen. He was a bedwetter. Remember, he wrote it in the song. At night I wake up with my sheets soaking wet. That was the whole... You guys don't remember that? It was the same. That was the same song. He came out about being a pedophile, too. It's the same song, actually. Hey, little girl. Is your daddy home? Did he go and leave you all alone? I got a bad desire. Greatest singer-songwriter of the 80s. Hey, who was at the inauguration this year? No, that was at the warm-ups, I'm sorry. That was kind of like the Hillary Clinton celebrity roundup of death at the end, wasn't it? It was sort of like all of the celebrities that you kind of figure aren't going to make the cut for this next year, like Sarah Silverman. Bye, Sarah. It's a shame to see you go. I'll never understand why you were here in the first place. But it's a shame to see you go, these cast of characters. And now it's like the new era of politics, which is what? It's the same old shit it's always been. Corrupt fucking assholes making money at the expense of other people. Oh. Kind of wish it would end, you know? Because I guess the problem becomes, you know, again, I'm in here trying to cause trouble for you, Indiana Talks Radio Network, and you're not here no more. I can't incite a revolution or a riot. I have no way of knowing for sure whether or not people will actually listen to it. These guys won't. They have to sit here until I'm done. So, because that's how it works. That's how it works.
Oh, man.
Really, you are my Lannister imp.
Wookie.
I know. And we're a duo act, too. That,
Wookie.
you know, it's bad enough I got already the voices in my head. I hardly think I need help. That would be now it's a cast of characters, you know, just throw Robbie Benson in there for good fucking measure, and I've made it to the 80s. You know what I mean? Me and Bobby McGee. What was that all about?
Voices in your head.
Okay. Thanks, Scotty. That makes it all the less funny. Thank you. Was it supposed to be? I don't know, because is this happening? Is this happening, Internet? Indiana Talks Radio. For months I thought you were there, and you weren't there. Not there at all. I talked to Nick Roberts. He said we haven't been on the air for 4 months. We had not been on the air for 4 months. We were on the schedule up till like 2 weeks ago. How did that happen? Where did we disappear? Where did those words go? Did they think I did okay? That's the only thing I care about. I'm going to follow my signal into space and find the alien races that live in space, and I'll ask them how my show was. That's what it'll be about. And they'll be like, what the hell are you talking about? We don't get the context or the subtext or the reference. And why do you keep saying east side, west side? Everybody knows it's a location, and you can't do material on that. You thinking? You earthlings all amateurs? And I'll be like, oh, fuck, and then I'd blow it. And then the Cosmic Eurovision Comedy Festival, I wouldn't make it. I'd be beaten up like Plutonian. I'd be like, God damn it, again. This fucking guy. If only I understood methane-based comedy. Jesus. You know? So I intentionally tried to cause trouble with Indiana Talks Radio Network, admittedly. Admittedly. I just come out and admit it. I've been trying to cause trouble all this time. I'm going to save a lot of people a lot of trouble tonight. Maybe that's what I should just do. Standing here with my fucking piss on my leg. Let's reveal the soul, Jerry. Let's go for the nuts. Why are you damping around with your little incontinency issue? It's not even an incontinency issue. You just were too fucking, nah, you just took an extra second, but you didn't want to take the time, and the new underwear flipped it up in the air, and you're pissing all over the floor, and that's why nobody really likes you on the side, because you can't hit the toilet. But no man can, and that's why all men are hated by women secretly. They don't admit it. They don't admit it, but every morning you get up there, and seriously, if it isn't, you don't hate him by the time you try to sit down and the seat's up, or you step in the puddle that's right down underneath there along the bottom of the rim while you're just sitting there and you're just going, oh my God. And it is the apex of evolution. Oh, Jesus. Doesn't even know how to piss. And here we are negotiating with the universe. Oh, Lord. It was a good run. It was a good run. I wish you'd made my bladder last a little longer, though, because that was the first time. That's as soon as the seal blows, man. That's fucking, they take you out. If I'd only known. If I'd only known. Could have hit some disease that had lasted a lot longer, but no, I had to blow a seal. You know, you get limited warranty. That's what happens. You know, like, what's your copay on your life, Mr. Goebel? Oh, about $150. I'm sorry, but you just don't have enough to cover it. I'm afraid your life is over. And you go, oh, well, you know, it's just a fact of fucking life. It's nice to be a walking human organ donor. It's nice to have that kind of feel. But, yeah, Indiana's a red state. When do you think they'll smoke weed, Jerry? Oh, gee willikers. Let me see. When are they harvesting my liver? About 3 days after that. Because that would be fucking, that would figure. That would be like, you know, it figures as sort of kind of the way everything happens. Like, if it happens bad, it happens at my expense. So, like, you know, if the Hindenburg explodes, it'd be like, right. And now what about, okay, my show, my comedians were on there. Really? I'm out of a show. I'm sorry. Just horrible self-absorption in the universe making you stay this late. You didn't want to come in the first place. And then they were like, oh, Jerry, you could put it on the internet. And people could, the one or two people that may be seeing this could watch these people as they try to figure out a way to get out of this room. That's what it really is. They know this is the John Carpenter flick. This is where everybody starts to buddy up. We'll get everybody's going to be buddying. Let's see, where's my buddies? Well, the two comedians, obviously, one of you two, nah, I don't know, man. You close the door. Thank you, Scotty. Okay, all right. Well, you don't kill the funny first. I mean, I know in a lot of horror movies, they always kill the funny guy. But that's usually because they don't have any decent material. So, honestly, I'll give you guys about 15, 20 minutes. Head start. And, let me see. You two back there. Okay, no, you good. Okay. Well, Gary's going to be the guy that ultimately does the taking down. That's what it'll be. We'll be hugging it out at the end because he's a hairy-looking guy, you know. Because you got kind of like that, you know, if you were like the Greek senator kind of thing, you got that kind of thing going for you. You could wear a toga and get away with it. I couldn't do that. Shit, I could probably look like one of your sled dogs with my Basset Hound underwear. But honestly, you got more of a Roman thing, and it would be a little more Greco-Norwegian, going with my way. You know, I can't imagine why those guys left to go back to Ohio. I can't imagine. We're going to talk about Gary's sex life. We'll be right back with you, Ohio. We'll be talking in a moment. Everybody's going to get a go here. This is where the movie starts to get really interesting. And there's the one guy over here. This is his first time, and he's going like, "What's going on here? Oh my God, this is crazy!" And he's like, "But it was free popcorn." And they're like, "Free popcorn?" That's how they catch the Wile E. Coyote, right? It's the same fucking trap. They just put it out there with a sign on it. It even has a sign that says free, and the bird can read, which is really cool. And he comes out and just, yeah, and he gets away with it. He freeloads off the state. And the coyote is representative of the hardworking capitalist. Yeah, the hardworking capitalist who spent all his time pulling the meat from the bones of its victims.
And yeah, but it needs more bones, and it needs more victims, and they just won't eat enough of the corn to make it worth their while. So they genetically modify the corn, so that way the next time when the Wile E. Coyote Roadrunner thing happens, then genetically modified food, dead Roadrunner. GMOs, making life healthier. That should be the advertisement. It'd be like post cereal and death. Post-apocalypse. Post-apocalypse chips. Oh, would you like your apocalypse frosted or, I don't know, fruit flavored? New raspberry flavored Soylent Greenies. All right. Raspberry's my favorite fella. Yep, it's a cookbook. It's a cookbook. That's this whole thing. This is just one long deposition statement. I'm just going to tell you right now, Mr. District Attorney, I did it all. I did all of it, every single bit of it, willingly, and I actually encouraged everybody to participate, but nobody would, because it looked like I pissed my pants. Nobody followed Hitler if he pissed his pants. Joel Osteen? No way. No way. All right, 18 more minutes. We're going to do it. I don't give a damn. I don't really give a damn. This is just out of principle. Indiana Progressive Talk Radio Network. I'm a throwback comedian. I don't know when to know I'm not funny. I just keep going. I'm like Saturday Night Live. Talking about living off a corpse. Holy shit. There's a... Chevy Chase is going to be leaving us soon. That's going to be great. He needs to go, man. He's an asshole. Michael O'Donoghue said, and he's a guy who's dead. He was funnier. He had said that Chevy Chase would make a great D-list celebrity when he left Saturday Night Live, and he was right. He's actually kind of a D-list person, really, kind of a douchebag. But that's what, at one point you're the star, and they love you, and then later they hate you. And then later you become a racist fat ass who tells everybody off because you thought you were hot shit because you thought you were in Steely Dan for a while. And you realize it was just a garage band. Maybe you were pretty hot shit. I don't know, man. Who gives a fuck? It was the 70s. You guys were all so stoned anyway. Talk about the best time to be a comedian. I hear all these stories, all these veterans. And this is coming from being 24 years in this. Okay, I haven't seen nearly as much sex and drugs as these old guys talk about. I am sorry about these old clubs that paid in coke. It sounded like, if you were talking about the fabled cities of El Dorado kind of thing. I remember there would be an 8-ball on the table every morning. And we'd be like, oh. And these guys were being paid in coke. And there was all these insane, push it to the limit kind of things. And those guys are all dead now. And now that you're left with me. So enjoy your coffee. My feet hurt and I can't drink no more. I guess I get the gout and the dropsy. And I'll do 16 more minutes about my medical problems. Unless one of you calls in and donates right now. Seriously, these phones have not rang all night tonight. And this is the worst telethon I've ever been involved with. I'll tell you what, I'm just going to keep going. I don't give a fuck. I know you're saying, Jerry, quit, we'll call. But no, it's too late. I'm just going to keep going with this mission. I'll tell you what, and this mission is to make our neighbors appreciate us and fix our fucking sign. That's what that would be. Come and fix our sign, our vandalized sign, my vandalized religion. Because it doesn't count, because it doesn't match your fucking standards and your bullshit and your blah, 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 blah. And your oppression and your Spanish Inquisition and your fucking Treaty of Worms and blah, 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 blah. Whatever. Eat it. Eat it. It's a church. The whole concept still comes down to God, and you're talking about these buildings. These buildings matter more than the universe. If the universe is solid energy, everything is energy. Energy slow vibration becomes matter. We are matter. Everything's matter. Everything's universe is energy, right? So why are we getting hung up on the buildings, the artifices? These people across the street hate our guts because this used to be a church.
They feel. I feel it's more so. It's become something different. That's fucking well for sure. Good, bad, or otherwise, it's different. A different's good. And if you don't like different, fuck you. Because it's coming. And when they let me out of my prison, more fun will happen. Yeah. Hours of this. Hours of just this enjoyment. This whole personal of the soul. I'm just going to go. I got 14 more minutes. I don't care. I had 3 people cancel out on this goddamn show. That's what this was about. It's digging deeper, man. Gonna dig so deep. I'm gonna go back to tell you. I'm gonna go speak in tongues. That's what I'm gonna do. I'll do the speak in tongue comedian, and they go, Jerry, you weren't any funnier then. And I'll be like, well, at least this time I'll have a reason why not. I'm gonna get laughs because it's supposed to be. Have a revival. Try to figure out how to get my comedians here. Be like, hallelujah, free demo tape. Jeez. I don't know. It's too much to ask of people sometimes. I appreciate it. I appreciate them coming out. That's why I do these shows. I like to give everybody a demo tape. I like to give everybody a chance to feel like they have a chance to do something, which isn't necessarily the case with the way this whole art works out. This whole art's a kind of a head fuck, and it's less about art and it's more about position and rank and who owns what. And you'll find out how many fucking friends you got once you start booking a room. I'll tell you what. You know, you think I'm lying? Book a room. Seriously, you will find out people that cannot stand you will look you in the eye for work. And yeah, but there's those guys. You see these guys that come through that are just grinders. Daniel Matthew, you know, your boy tonight, Billy, Brent. So you do it, and you know, because we've got to make each other laugh. Holy shit, we got to make. And all of a sudden the time passes and the clock changes to 41 minutes. Are you jacking it forward? You're fucking with me, aren't you now? You really are. I swear to God, this whole thing has just been like one big psychological experiment, right? Really, seriously. There's going to be a dude outside this door with a clipboard. I'm going to lose my fucking mind because that's where it'll be. They'll be like, this whole year, Jerry, we have been testing you to see whether you throw your entire comedy career away.
You did it! You did it!
Well, okay. All right, we'll see you later. Reality show. 12 minutes, 10 minutes. I don't know what dimension we're in now. 9:58. Doesn't matter. Is anybody really here? You guys here? Are you cool with this? You care? Do you care that this is on my own personal war right now? This isn't even about you. This is you're not even here as far as you guys could. If you want, if I need a minute alone. I'm just kidding. No. Oh, he's so funny. He got himself. That's Andy Kaufman funny right there. That's Andy Kaufman funny. It's so funny that you walk the crowd out of the room and then you sit there after the fact and go, hey. I could have still been making them laugh. You should have fucking started, Goebel. Oh. But there I am in Kentucky Fried Chicken with a piss in my fucking, you know, and the guys, and it wouldn't have been so bad, but the dude looked like Zach De La Roca, and he's worked, you know, and it's just like the indignities of Kentucky Fried Chicken, you know, and I'm like this bloated white dude with piss on his pants wanting some more chicken fingers. Oh, are you a Trump supporter? I don't know, man. My friends are trying to nail me to the fucking wall on everything. I don't know now. I don't know what. I don't believe in nothing. Let me just leave. How about that? Is that easier? I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I've only been here to cause trouble, and you guys took it seriously. So now I got friends stalking me on the internet. Oh, you said the Rothschilds were worth $500 trillion. You should fact check. A memonopoler, or a memosaur. They just kind of like a raptor, but my tongue can't do it. Yeah. Just fucking. Ding dong. Yep. 20 more minutes. 10:22. I don't even know. What year is it? These were like this, you know what? You know, I heard tell one night Johnny Carson had this happen to him. Yep, the Phantom Show, he called it. The Phantom Show 309, I believe. He called it the Phantom 309 Show. And that was where his guest panel was all dead people. And then at the end of the show, he wasn't sure it ever really happened, but it didn't. Exactly.
So when you guys go back out to your real worlds, tell them about my prison here. Tell them they need to free Jerry. Jerry needs to cause more trouble. Jerry needs a network terror-causing agency. I need to be on TV. That's what we need to do. More so than this internet, because you guys are letting me down. Nothing personal, guys. You're fun. I like your memes, and I like your... Well, I used to like Pepe the Frog, but whatever, you know. Fuck. But now, right? Yeah, that's even the point where you can't even pick a fucking meme without people picking at you now. You know what I mean? I got this one guy, I swear to God, it's like everything I post on there, he's like... Okay, I know Travis Aldrich is trying to think I'm a spook. I don't know what his deal is. Yeah, because he keeps questioning because he was like... He did this thing where he was kind of like, okay, in the conspiracy theory room, if you were just to say the Jews control the room, most conspiracy theorists would, you know, the ones that were racist would get real worked up at the whole Jewish standpoint, but the whole idea that they're Jewish sort of is incidental to the fact that you're in a corporation. Doesn't mean nothing to me. But I know when people are throwing that out, they're trying to catch it because there's like race baiting. Like a lot of, and it's real easy to do now because a lot of people will speak their mind. My family, I got a lot of racist idiots in my family who would spend less than 2 seconds putting themselves on record being idiots. They do it in a second because they don't think about it. They don't even think about the fact that maybe what they're saying is bullshit, maybe something putrid, not even sensical. Like it doesn't make a damn bit of sense. It makes no sense. Like, especially like, okay, racism. I got a sister that hates Mexicans, but she loves black people. I'm like, what? How? Why? I mean, it doesn't make any sense, but somewhere along the line, this is just her thing. And I'm like, holy shit. I guess that's why I'm glad I read comic books. You know, I guess I don't know. I don't get these people. I'm glad I was sheltered. I'm glad I stayed in my own little room and read my books and didn't get hooked up with the fantastic Klansmen. You know, I mean, like these guys are like, this is my sister, and I'm like, I know you. You're no piece of work. You know what I mean? But you're gonna tell me all these problems these other people are causing? I'm like, I know you. I moved away from you. Are you kidding me? That wasn't even, you know. But then people don't think that their own actions matter when they're making their judgments about others. You know, when was the last time you were a refugee? When was the last time your country got fucked up? When was the last time you had to have help? When were you given it? And that's what you'll find out. Most of these fucking assholes that will wind up taking a lot of it were people that were never givers in the first place. They never were there to help. That's the biggest problem with all this shit. All these wars, all this other crap. It comes down to the basic fact of the matter is we don't want to help each other. Because it's still survival instinct. This is still the nature, wild world. Somebody gets a leg up. Ooh, you know? Survival. But it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's always been. But if it keeps us scared. It keeps us manipulated. We were able to be handled in a more gentle fashion because now we have things that we want. They can use things to make you want to be nice and safe and secure and snug in your own little world and not stick your head out there and realize that they're really being mean to people. You know? But then we quarrel. That it's like that. If you could go into a fetal position like you're a lotus eater, right? You go into that little world where you are just in your own thing forever. If that were a thing, I guess in a sense being dead, that's what they're kind of saying is you're going to the universal afterlife, the unimind, the source of creation, whatever. You're all joining this energy, right? It just seems kind of silly that we're, I don't know, expending a lot of energy for nothing. You know? And it ain't necessarily funny, but I got 5.5 minutes left of this, and it's going to be, I guess you cry the cosmic blues, you know? Because at least you got your say. That's the one thing about stand-up. You know, it's just, okay, here's diatribe time. I don't understand why more people aren't fiercely protective of their right to speak about what they feel. You know what I mean? So stand-up comedy is really the last bastion of free speech that you have. It's the only place that you can come up and say something completely insane. Listen, you've heard 45 minutes of me gibbering like an idiot up here. Okay? You can do this.
I guess at some point, everybody needs to be able to say what they want and not have to worry about it. We've had this whole election thing. We had a bunch of people getting pissed about who's saying jokes about who. It's all just emotional bullshit. We're still on the same boat. We're still fucked. Okay? So imagine if Facebook didn't exist and we didn't have these stories. How would we be interacting with each other right now? How manipulated are we into these strange? How crazy am I? I'm a product of Facebook and caffeine and Sudafed, frankly. If you were to say, but what was my downfall? My downfall was thinking hay fever could be remedied with amphetamines. Because I'm a little obsessive. But yeah, your First Amendment rights. So as long as you can do it with a microphone in front of you, they can't really take you away. They can turn you off. But I also find that getting a megaphone is still legal. And, you can do what you want to cause trouble, make T-shirts, whatever. Just be heard. But you have to but the only place that you can say anything without being held or pilloried is really at stand-up comedy. It's the only place you can do that. You don't have that right anywhere else. And really, if you start to look at why is stand-up comedy like where all the truth tellers are at now, well, those are the guys that are doing the research. Those are the guys that are reading the papers trying to find new material. Those are the people scouring for material. Those are exactly the type of people that need to be journalists. Logging facts, making jokes about them. Are you kidding me? That's to me, it's like finding a joke based on historical fact. It means it's always going to be there. It's not a date. It's not a OJ joke. It's tied to something. I can use it. My Yoda jokes won't work one day. I know that. I know. I'll be up in probably South Bend in February at a festival. It'll be me in a tent. And the one guy that's there, and he'll be there because he's just checking the deposit on the generator. And I'll do my whole show for him that night. I'll pour my soul into that man that night. And it will be the greatest show I ever do. Until then. When does this joke end, Jerry? I don't know, man. Dude, who knows? You quit asking real rational questions a long time ago. You'd learn. Just quit asking. Jerry. Why don't you just talk and babble like an idiot? Eventually something funny will come out, and maybe God will strike you blind and talk for you, hopefully. Jeez.
Lord, if you ain't done it in 40 minutes, it ain't going to happen now.
No, I'm just saying. Hallelujah. All right, that's what I needed. That's it. The punctuation is really how you sell the jokes at the end. You just got to put the right. If I had more Beyonce in my jokes, if I could have jokes written by 30 people or more, yeah, that'd be great. I like to have a whole committee stylize one joke to take an award home for it. Boy, and yet nobody even remembers what the fucking song is. Does anybody? I don't remember much about Beyonce other than the fact that Jay-Z's involved and he got no problems except his bitch or something. I don't know. He's got 99 somethings. I don't know if they're problems. I'm not sure how to take that. I feel about that song the same way I feel about that Sweet Home Alabama. I feel the same. I'm conflicted because I'm not exactly sure what I'm agreeing to in the terms of this song. You know what I mean? Like we all did what we could do. What exactly does that mean? What exactly does that mean, Leonard Skinner? I'm just curious. How much doing were you doing? What was the nature of your doing? There's a lot of questions in your doing. Like Jerry? That's right. Well, just always know what you're agreeing to. I guess that's really it. Like when you say you're going to do 45 minutes. Yeah, I'll just ad-lib it. You're stupid. You're so stupid, Jerry. You've been the dumbest, stubborn, most idiotic person I've ever met in my life. In the quest for the immortal funny. Oh, God. I'm going to die on a plateau somewhere telling jokes to a hobo. I just know. And he's going to pop up and say, I'm Kurt Cobain. And I'll be like, thank God. Thank God. I was just happy with my book of birds, and I was trying to figure out what the fuck to do next here, but all right. Right? No. Yeah. And then to do set material.
They'd be like, oh, this inferno has been wonderful. You people have been suffering nicely with me for 45 minutes, but I like to drag that on in my special closer. It's Christmas in hell, everyone is here. Hey, you guys next door, why don't you come over? Got a little rent boy party down at the hotel? What? Who getting into the booty? Who getting into the booty? Hey, that got interesting all of a sudden at the end. I'd be like, Jerry, what are you talking about? I don't know. Maybe you're hanging around the alleys too much, getting your poon scooped over at the hotel. Dinger. And then we go, oh, Jerry, what exactly does that mean? That's in the deposition. That's in the depositions, Jerry. Good job. Because they're watching all of this. They're going to have to make heads or tails at all of this. That's really the hilarious part about it. After this is over, and comedy's subjective, so even if it's not funny, I'll never admit it. So, my proudest moment in the depositions is that the picture of me with Mike Pence's penis is in permanent Indiana historical record. And I think it's very important because there are so many times that the physical representation needs to be in the actual trial things. And I think the 6-foot inflatable fake penis with Mike Pence written on the side. Beautiful. Exhibit 12. It's Exhibit 12. When they come back years later, when they're excavating the ruins of the temple of the unspoken one who was never released from his tomb. Is there an open mic nearby? It's the curse of the mummy. It's always an open mic. That's the way they come back from the dead, and you go right to the open mic. All right, we're done here, folks. You've struggled out of principle. You'll all be given a painless death. Yeah, within reason. You're all going to find true love and get married, and then you'll find out what death really means. So, I hope you all get some. I love you guys. Yay. Good night.